Holy, Genshin might be back after this, because they just randomly dropped an insane lore bomb of a trailer on a Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on your time zone. And for everyone who has been waiting to see Columbina, here you go. There's so much in this trailer that you'll wish the future would come quicker. Let's check it out. I'm not going super in-depth on the lore implications, since I know other people who are more into the lore will make videos on that. Just a heads up, there are story spoilers covering the entire Genshin plot, so keep that in mind. Later on, I'll also talk about a personal theory I have about the truth of this world. At the start of the trailer, we see this old granny reading a book. At first, I thought this was in Mondstadt, but later the whole place gets deleted. I honestly wonder who this person is. She seems to know about the siblings' arrival and also seems to know a lot about the Four Shades. I have a theory on why this granny knows about us, and I'll talk about it after this segment. First, the granny shows the ruler of life, Naberius. Then comes the ruler of death, Ronova. Then time, Istaroth. And lastly, space, Asmoday. After naming them, this person starts tweaking like crazy, but it's that moment of madness that gives the granny knowledge about us, the travelers, being stopped by the ruler of space, and also about our separation. Then the granny gets deleted. At first, we think it's by the ruler of death, but it actually seems to be the god of space's doing. After that, we get to see Lady Death in all her glory. Her design looks absolutely beautiful, and the rest of the shades look just as amazing. You'll see. Then we see Daughter, but it looks like Albedo's mom and the ruler of life, Naberius, have fused together. So you're telling me the Hexenzirkel has had a member of the Four Shades this whole time? That's insane. These people must be ridiculously powerful. I mean, Daughter isn't exactly Naberius. Naberius is the real ruler of life, but since they've fused and can use each other's powers, they're basically the same. Then the camera shifts to Istaroth. Honestly, she looks a lot like Robin from Star Rail, but also looks like a big Paimon. Also, interestingly, Istaroth's voice actor in all 4 languages is the same as Venti's. Now, we've all kind of speculated that Venti could be Istaroth, but having the same voice actor isn't exactly proof. Still, having all of Venti's VAs also voicing Istaroth definitely raises some eyebrows. Let's see how that plays out. After that, Death deletes this space, saying she wants to end its misery. It makes me wonder, was this a pocket dimension? Or maybe an area in Teyvat that's isolated from the rest of the world? They kept referring to it as space, which makes it feel like it's something separate. Then we see the god of space's cube getting destroyed. The place itself looks like outer space, with space rocks and all. So maybe these cubes are actually pocket dimensions. Daughter says repeating this experiment would be fruitless. That line really makes me wonder, what if Teyvat is like Amphorus? A world that keeps repeating itself, trying to find some kind of answer, where the people are just data or memories? Maybe these cubes are alternate versions of Teyvat, different timelines or iterations. If that's the case, then things like the Inazuma arc and the Raiden and Makoto storyline hit way differently. Remember how Inazuma was originally supposed to be destroyed, but Makoto, with help from Istaroth, managed to change that? And Raiden was the only one who remembered a destroyed Inazuma, no sacred Sakura tree, people dying, while everyone else thought it had always been fine. Maybe that old Inazuma was in one of those destroyed cubes. And since all the Four Shades had the power to move around these cubes, as we saw earlier, when that version of the world was wiped, everyone who was real jumped to a new cube or timeline. That could be why some people feel things had changed, while the people created by data or memories don't know. I mean, there could be other reason as why they don't remember too. So here's my theory in short. The cubes represent different alternate worlds, each running a version of Teyvat, but all of them eventually get destroyed and reset as part of some larger experiment. That could explain why Daughter talks about experiments and why the old granny knew about the traveler being separated. It's even written in her book. Maybe these characters actually know the truth, that the world keeps repeating itself over and over again, searching for some kind of final answer. Anyway, that's just a theory, a game theory. Then the trailer cuts to a place we've never seen before. Based on the dialogue, it seems to be a meeting place where all Four Shades gather to make decisions. This might be what the real Celestia looks like, but it's unclear. One thing we do know, it's really high up in the sky, because later we see them looking down on everything. They talk about Asmoday being missing from the meeting, which is strange since she's apparently never missed one before. This makes Istaroth wonder if Asmoday has betrayed the heavenly principles and chosen to follow a new master. They literally say that line.
Just switched sides? You make it sound like such a trivial affair. We are shades, shadows of the heavenly principles. It's unthinkable. Unless she loves her new master more than her own self.
Now, this master could be anyone, but it makes me wonder, what if the master is the traveler and the one who loves her new master more than herself is actually Paimon? In other words, what if the master is the traveler and Paimon is Asmoday, or maybe even a clone or fragment of her? That would be insane if true. All of the shades have this specific symbols on them, and Paimon has similar ones. Plus, in various world quests, we've heard again and again that Paimon has strings that reach the heavens and other mysterious hints. So it's not that far-fetched, honestly. But I guess we'll have to wait and see how it all unfolds. Then Istaroth tells Ronova that someone is watching her. And who is it? None other than Pierro. He looks really mad here, and honestly, rightfully so. He did see everything unfold in front of him. Ronova says she saw him right before placing the immortality curse. Rhine-daughter also mentions she knows him and that they were acquaintances. Then Ronova brings up the Creo Archon and basically insults her, saying, "How dare she gaze upon the heavenly principles with her paltry powers?" Paltry meaning limited or weak. They then echo what Nahida had already speculated, that the heavenly principles have not awakened yet, and because they haven't, it's actually the perfect time for whatever the Cryo Archon is planning. Since there are no direct orders from above, the Shades talk about whether they should intervene. This intervening likely refers to whatever plan the Tsaritsa is working on. No one knows exactly what they'll do, but it looks like they're going to get involved in Nodcry. Then it cuts to Pierro. He starts talking about how the gaze of gods is often seen as a blessing like visions. Mortals always look up to the sky, hoping to be noticed. But when gods look down, they bring wrath and destruction. Entire nations have been destroyed because of it. He's clearly speaking from experience and says he already knows the cost of being seen by the gods. Then he asks the big question, what is the price of killing a god? And here's the interesting part. He refers to this god as he. Since all the shades are female, this heavily suggests heavenly principles is a male figure. Pierro ends the scene by quoting the Tsaritsa, "Even the gods have their limits." At the very end of the trailer, we see several Fatui members gathering with one goal, to find Columbina. She's gone missing. Like I said, the lore in this game is absolutely wild. I seriously can't wait to see where all this leads. I probably missed some things, so feel free to add more in the comments. Nodcry is going to be a really beautiful region, both in terms of lore and exploration. We already saw tons of new and unique locations during Pierro's journey in the trailer. It's also confirmed that we'll see Dottore and Columbina appear there. Pierro might show up too, but that's still uncertain for now. And if you haven't already, go watch the trailer. It's insane. Nodcry is going to be a really beautiful region. So what do you think? Comment down your thoughts, and while you are at it, like and sub too. Oh, and turn on the notifications as well so you don't miss out on anything. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful day, everyone.